you lead me to my doom, yeah.
Hello again, welcome to Spotlight On. Today we are doing Spotlight on Mr. Wayne's, which is a really cool collectible store that is in downtown Westmont, Illinois. There will be their address and a link to their website in the description down below so you can check them out. They also sell things online as well as having this physical brick and mortar store. And I'm here with the owner and operator, Mike Kaplan. Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
Thank you very much for having us here at your store.
Well, thanks for coming out.
Of course. So first thing I wanted to ask you about, how did you get into selling collectibles?
Well, in the late 90s, I got a job at KB Toys. And I met some of the coolest people. These people are my family now, you know. And one of the guys who worked there, one of the other managers, a guy named Joe, Joe Permanian, him and I, you know, just kind of talking back then, said one day we're going to do this ourselves. We could do this so much better. We actually had the best-selling store in the region. And
oh, wow.
And we would actually get written up all the time because they would want us to put the little flippy puppy dogs out in front, and the little, like the mazes with the penguins and things like that. And we said, these don't sell, let's put Batman figures out there. And so we would have better sales, but we'd get written up like all the time. Like, you're not following the plans, that kind of thing. So we always said, we can do this better. You know, fast forward 20-some years, you know, I've owned other businesses, and Joe and I just said, you know what, let's do it. Let's just go for it. And so we started online. We did eBay sales basically for about a year. And Joe actually does custom action figures and restorations and repairs and that kind of thing. And so we said, you know, that's something very, very unique. So we said, let's do this. Let's go into business. Let's open it up. Sell some toys. We can fix some toys, make customs, things like that. And yeah, we're loving it now.
So now your store is stocked with items from all generations of toys and collectibles. You have stuff in here from many decades worth of collectibles, literally running the gamut. I mean, I see stuff here from when I was a kid, stuff from that's far more recent. How do you decide what stuff to stock?
Well, the simple answer is stock a little of everything, and that way everybody who walks in will hopefully find something. But I mean, basically, you follow trends. I mean, we sell a lot of Funko Pops, Marvel Legends, and things like that as far as the modern stuff goes, because that's what people are looking for. That's what draws people in. But you do have a lot of the older collectors like myself that are into more of the vintage stuff and things like that. So we got to have that as well. Vintage is a hot market, so we always it's hard to stock it and hard to keep it in stock, but we always want it here. And then really it's a lot of what I've kind of, as far as my regular inventory goes, I like to just, like, people come in and they talk about different things and they put in pre-orders and things like that, and if somebody pre-orders something, I'll figure, well, if this one guy wants it, maybe this other person wants it as well.
Yeah.
So I figure, you know, that's a good way to start, and then you just, you know, like I said, you read trends, you read Twitter, what are people talking about and what do people want, and you just listen and you stock.
Fair enough. And that kind of leads me, I was going to say, because you were talking a little bit about your philosophy and about reading trends and seeing what customers are interested in. So what is your guiding philosophy with running Mr. Wayne's?
Well, there's two major philosophies. One is kind of our mission statement is, we always kind of joke and say it kind of, you know, smiling, but like, we're trying to relive your childhood one collectible at a time. You know, you're trying to come in and see something that you go, oh man, like He-Man, I haven't seen a He-Man figure forever, or whatever happens to be a Reboot or Battlestar Galactica or whatever.
I love Reboot, by the way. I love that show.
It's a really cool show, right?
Yes.
And then the other major philosophy is like, and it sounds cheesy and people roll their eyes at me, but it's absolutely people above pennies. We want to make sure that the right person gets the right collectible in their hand, and we're not going to squabble over pennies. We want to make sure people get a deal. We always offer a bulk discount without people asking. You know, if you're buying 6, 7 things from us, we're absolutely going to take care of you. We try to be as fair as we can. We go off market value, so there's never any kind of question about where our prices are at. So yeah, we want to really take it as a collector myself and someone who used to shop at all the stores, which I still do when I have the time. I love the, great community around here. But as someone who's been there, you learn what you like, you learn what you don't like. and you kind of aim the business that way. And that was one of the things, is like, we want to take care of the people. We want to make sure the collectors leave feeling, that they had a great experience.
I love that. I do. I really have to say, as someone who loves to collect tons of stuff that I put on shelves, I love that. Yeah. That is your philosophy.
Yeah, you save a little money on the toys and you can buy the shelves.
There you go. And they are necessary. You need something to put them on.
They are.
So tell me, what are some of your long-term goals for Mr. Wayne's?
Well, we want to grow and we want to expand. We want to be, and again, I'm very clear on my goals, and I don't, a lot of people roll their eyes at me because I got lofty goals. But basically, we want to be kind of a place that people would want to take a pilgrimage to. As much as I love the Chicago community, it's not just about the Chicago community. It's about making I'm a big fan of Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Yes.
And I know how people will drive for hours and hours and hours and hours just to get into the door. And we eventually want to be that. We want to, it's something that somebody in California might say, hey, I'm going to Chicago this week, and his buddy would say, oh, while you're there, make sure you stop by Mr. Wayne's. We want to have that kind of presence.
So at some point, if you do well enough, are you hoping to move to a larger space then? Or?
Well, I'd love to. I love the location here. I love the neighbors. I love being next to a busy street, but not on a busy street, so you can park. But yeah, eventually we are going to have to. We're busting at the seams as it is, so we're eventually going to have to expand.
Fair enough. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about, just because it's a very unique and cool thing for your shop, is the challenge you have going on with your Lord of the Rings pinball machine. Oh. I'd like you to tell us a little bit about that, because it was something that was one of the first things that caught my eye when I looked at your storefront, was your sign about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's simply, we have a Lord of the Rings pinball. I'm a very, very big pinball fan. I love pinball. I love working on pinball machines. And when we opened the store, I was like, this is my excuse. I'm buying the pinball machine. I bought my favorite one, which is Lord of the Rings.
It's mine as well.
Nice. You got good taste. But what happened is, after a while, we noticed a lot of people playing it and being like, oh, I got to get to this score, I got to get to this score. And, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but generally they were my high scores. And so I thought, you know what? Why don't we do some sort of challenge with it, that if you can make it onto the board, get your name on the leaderboard, we can have, we'll give you a free, it's a Bearer of the Rings 3-pack with Gollum, Bilbo Baggins, and Frodo Baggins. Is appropriate to the Lord of the Rings. It's just a little action figure pack, but we say, hey, you want to come in and give it a shot, we're going to take care of you.
And then how much is it to get a try? How much is it to play the pinball?
Quarter to play.
Quarter?
We set our pinball machine on a quarter because dollar pinball machines are a ripoff.
I wanted to focus on that, because I haven't seen pinball machines for a quarter since 1986. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because that is awesome. Yeah. So on a more personal note, I'd like to ask you, what are some of your favorite IPs to collect for?
Personally, I collect DC Mattel figures. So anything from like DC Universe Classics and Select Sculpt and Multiverse, anything from 2004 through 2019. And I'm actually trying to complete the whole set.
That's 15 years worth of stuff.
Yes, and I'm about...
I just have to do the math. I'm using my fingers over here.
I'm about 14, 15 figures away from doing it. So I'm pretty close, and I'm pretty excited. But unfortunately, and then the other thing I collect is Batman the Animated Series.
Oh my god, I love Batman the Animated Series.
Absolutely.
Great
and
stuff.
DC Collectibles made a great line of Batman the Animated Series figures that I was collecting, but DC Collectibles got shut down in 2020 for no reason. And so really, with no more Mattel stuff, no more Batman stuff from the animated series, I've actually kind of started leaning into statues and things like that. But generally DC related and things like that.
Well, very cool. And I do want to wish you good luck in getting 15 years worth of figures. Yeah. How many did you say you were away?
About 14 or 15. Wow. And one of those is like a 7-pack. So if I can get that, I'm going to be closer.
Yeah, I was going to say that would get you really close. That's really awesome. All right, so is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Mr. Wayne's?
Well, I guess the main thing I'd really like to kind of get out there is, like I was saying earlier, with our customs and repairs and restorations, that is something that is absolutely wholly unique to us. Joe will do anything you want, whatever's in your head. He can, you sit down with him and you kind of design out the figure, and it's amazing. We have a bunch of samples on hand so you can see what his work is, what he can do. And just like, for example, one of his like kind of trademark things he does is he takes Wolverine action figures and actually puts metal claws on them.
Oh, that's cool.
So they're not that kind of spaghetti kind of, you know, going all over each other kind of thing.
Exactly what you mean.
But things like that. And then he'll do like full-on customs, as well as he's even repaired like really super high-end like Sideshow premium statues and things like that. And people trust him to do that because his work is so great. And that's definitely something that makes us more unique than another store.
I would definitely agree. That is not something you see in every collectible store for sure. So there you have it. Again, link in the description to the website for Mr. Wayne's down below, as well as their address. If you're in Illinois, check them out. They are in downtown Westmont, Illinois. If you're visiting the Illinois area, check out Mr. Wayne's. And again, they do sell some stuff online, so you can check them out. But again, you can come by here and get your collectibles customized, one of a kind. You can't be more collectible than one of a kind. I'm just saying. And as always, my guiding principle: support your local businesses. And FYI, I'm going to be putting my money where my mouth is. Right behind me is the Titanium Series diecast Battlestar Galactica, which I'm going to be buying today because this thing is awesome. And I'm actually going to unwrap it and put it on shelf on the side.
Yeah, toys are meant to be opened.
Yeah, it's got it, and it looks so cool. So this is definitely going to be going on a shelf in my game room. So there you have it. So feel free to comment down below if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see me do more Spotlight Ons on other local businesses that are really cool that you should check out. Be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. It's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. Until next time, game on.